So if you've watched the channel for a while, you know that I am a big fan of high quality, reputable manufacturer built hitches. I do not like even remotely chancing the risk that an off-name generic brand hitch that is basically taking a design that they probably found on Temu or Alibaba, they're putting their name on it and they're saying that it has these incredible ratings that you know they've never been tested to. But when you see hitches on my channel, the ones that I specifically recommend, they are all tested to the highest levels of certifications and standards to make sure that they meet the capacities that the manufacturers claim. And that is really, really important. And one of the things that I always look for are high-rated hitches. I believe that a hitch is one of those items that it never really hurts to go overkill, unless you're specifically talking about one that has like torsion flex built into it, like the Gen Y Boss series, right? They have the torsion arms in there, and you have to be very, very sure to get the one specifically for the type of weight you plan on hauling. Otherwise, it's not going to do a heck of a lot. But in front of me is a brand that you will routinely see on my truck, and it is one of really 3 brands that you'll see on my truck more than any other brand. And this specific one is very unique, and what you're looking at is one that you've never seen before, even though you may feel like you've seen it before. And let me explain that. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so you may feel as if this is a hitch that you've seen on my channel before. And in some ways it is, but in many ways it's not because of what I've done here. Now, you were looking at the 180 Pro Series from Weighsafe. This is a heck of a hitch. 25,000 pound tow capacity on the 2 5/16 inch ball and 2,500 pounds worth of vertical tongue weight capacity. But what is unique about this, and some people may have spotted it, is the fact that I have it on a shank that fits the 3-inch opening in the back of some Super Duty and other larger trucks. This is very, very different because you natively, at least at the time of filming this video, cannot purchase the 180 Pro Series with a shank that supports a 3-inch direct fit shank. That is something that you've never seen before. But why do I have this? Did I get something specially built? I did not. I actually just paired some really cool products together from the folks at Weighsafe to make this work. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here it is. This is specifically what you would need to order, at least again at the time of this video. I've actually thrown a request out to them to make this more universal. But if you want the 3-inch shank, basically you want the drawbar right there that goes into a 3-inch opening on the back of some trucks, mainly Super Duty pickup trucks, and some Super Cs and some really large motorhomes. But if you want that 3-inch shank, you have to get it right now with the Pintle attachment. So if you order this setup specifically with the Pintle hitch and not the 2 balls, the 2 5/16 and the 2-inch ball, then you can order it with a 3-inch shank. Otherwise, the 180 can only come with a maximum of a 2.5-inch shank, as you see here. This is actually the one that came with that specific hitch. But me personally, if I don't have to use a reducer, I'm not going to use a reducer. So to be able to use the 3-inch shank, when I asked eTrailer if they could send me a sample of one so I could test all of this out if it would work, I was really, really impressed to find out that the 180 Pro actually fits onto the 3-inch shank, which is really, really nice, and it gives me the ability to have the larger shank without any type of reducer to be able to work with my Super Duty, and that is absolutely awesome. Now, their Pintle setup here is pretty dang phenomenal, and there's some interesting aspects to this that make it a little different and where you can't just add this to any Weighsafe product. As you'll see right here, you have this little rubber cap. And if you want to use the Pintle, you need to remove that rubber cap because that pin right there will rest inside of that little indention there specifically to keep this from rotating or spinning whenever you're connected to a Lynette ring. So if I slide this in, the tolerances that they make their products out of are absolutely insane. You'll see that it can no longer rotate, which is really nice. And this is where your Lynette ring would sit inside of. I also love the fact that they've upgraded to a different gauge. So the new gauge is actually filled with glycerin to help improve the durability, longevity, and functionality of the gauge. So if we remove this, you can actually see the liquid inside of there. And that's something that's relatively new to Weighsafe. But again, you can see how it fits into that indention right there. And that is their Lynette ring mount for a Pintle. So if I want to open this up, I can simply remove the pin off the back right here, pop that pin out, press this in like this, lift the ring up, and then I can put the Lynette ring in there, and I can close it in place, and it self-locks whenever you drop it over the ring. Okay, so again, I'll simply pull this clip forward, lift the ring up. I'll take my Lynette ring, I'll drop it in right here, close this down, and this, once it's in place, will lock over it like that. And then I take my pin and simply put my pin in right here. Just feed it through both holes, and then I can lock it in place on the other side. And now the ring is locked in place. So that is how the Lynette ring works, and this specifically can mount on top of your Weighsafe product so you can see how much tongue weight you have using the scale, the new improved scale. So with the ring in, there is movement here. It's probably about an inch, maybe a hair under an inch. So whenever you're backing up, the ring is going to go to the very back like this, and as you pull forward, it's going to go like that. But they've done this in a way that does allow really, really nice movement and articulation of the actual ring itself. So I don't think you're going to have any issues right there. And again, that scale is going to give you a really, really nice reading to show you specifically how much vertical tongue weight you have pressing down on the back of your hitch, which is really nice. Very cool. Again, one of the things I absolutely love about Weighsafe products is the fact that when you get them keyed, especially keyed alike, it's essentially one key that allows you to do everything. You can move the hitch head, you can switch to a different ball size, you can unlock and unlock the hitch into the back receiver of the truck. It is really, really convenient. And one of the things that I always look for with a hitch is ease of use. The fewest number of movements I have to make to switch from one ball type to another, or to be able to change the height of the ball assembly, or to be able to remove it in general. And with this one, again, what's really nice is all I have to do is come up here, take the rubber cap off. It's one key right here. It pulls both pins out. I can slide this up, I can flip it over, I can put the pins back in, and it locks in place, which is really nice. And even my pin up here, which is also a Weighsafe pin, has the same key as this. So if I want to make any adjustments, I'm only carrying one key around. I don't have to carry a ton of different keys around and risk losing them because I have two separate keys to make adjustments. And if you've seen my videos on the 180 Pro, you'll also know that this pops off and it gives you a 2-inch receiver back here for like an accessory rack or something you might want to put back here, maybe a flagpole, but it is not designed for recovery. That was my one criticism against this product, is that it would be nice if it was specifically designed so you could use it with some recovery equipment. But I understand why it's not, because this comes off the end here. If you pull at a hard angle here, you're going to be applying some crazy leverage to this portion, and it's probably just one of those areas that you could probably get away with it a few times, but why take the risk and risk failing when there's other and better, safer ways to be able to do that type of recovery mode. Anyways, my channel sponsor eTrailer.com carries all of this stuff. I will throw a link in the description of this video if this is something you may be interested in, but I do love the fact now that if you already have the steel hitch from Weighsafe, that you can purchase the Lynette hitch, get the 3-inch shank to be able to fit directly into the 3-inch receiver on your Ford Super Duty. That is really, really cool, and it's something that, again, by the time that they see this video, hopefully they will have come up with a pairing to where you can actually purchase this hitch head with the 3-inch shank automatically if you have a Super Duty and a 3-inch receiver. Anyways, please drop a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about this setup? I am a huge fan of this product set. I do wish that they had this version rated all the way up to like 27 or 28 or 29,000 pounds. I feel as if that would be a better competitor to some of the super high rated hitches that are already out there. But from a fit and finish perspective, from a build quality perspective, it's a really solid product, and I have to say I'm super impressed with Weighsafe every time I see their stuff. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.